Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. The first day of work doesn't always go well. In the first story, we tell you how our OP met the retail demon and how it all ended up. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. The Demon of Retail, aka my first ever cash customer. For some background, I'm an associate in a place that sells clothes. We all know how slow it is right now, so in the land of Bumblebee, today I got given an unexpected surprise by the manager. I'm training you on cash today. Externally, I was surprised. Internally, I was dancing with glee. Cashiers have more hours than associates. I'm like, all right, cool. So off I go, get all set up, watch the head cash, HC, do her thing, and I get my first customer as a cashier ever. I really wish I could have a do-over. She was, how do I describe her? Like someone stewed cruelty and sadism, threw in a heavy dose of elitism, and topped it nicely with a juice of bitterness and hatred. Definitely on the older side, and definitely someone I'll likely see again. Our registers are all online. People are lined up using those things like theaters have to act as ropes in an S shape. I call good evening to the woman next. Well, this woman, who I'm calling Retail Demon, RD, cut through a line of 6 by going under these ropes and straight to my register. She threw her purchase on the counter and snapped, "Hurry up, I haven't got all day." Now I have no idea what to do. The other girl, HC, is doing an exchange a few tills away. Other customers are stunned. I decided to just get her out of there. Flashing a quick apologetic look to the woman who went next, I began to scan her items. A couple of tank tops and headbands. Beside the register, we have lip glosses, lip balms, nail files, and marked down jewelry. On a whim, Insane Bee grabs one of each color, 6 in all. Okay, fine. Problem, they're not scanning, so I have to manually enter them. RD, what's taking so long? Why does this place have such incompetent employees? Me, I'm sorry. I need to enter these manually. The barcodes aren't scanning. RD, don't you lie to me. I know you're trying to swindle me out of more money. I'll be checking the receipt when you're done. Okay, wow. Didn't realize 6 $1 lip glosses were so important. Eventually, this gets done with harumps and demands to hurry up. As I'm scanning the tank tops, I remember I need to tell her the policy. Me, all right, ma'am, for the tank tops you have... RD, don't you ma'am me, you fat hussy. I'm not old. How dare you? It's not like you have anything important to say to me anyways. Me, I'm trying to explain RD, what did you just say? I demand to see a manager, now. She was screaming at me. Our MOD was across the store and our SM was on a conference call in the back. I started shaking at this point. Luckily, HC jumped in at this point. She radioed our MOD and told me to step back and let her handle it. The radio wasn't required. RD could be heard clear across the store. I was freaking out, thinking I'd be written up or worse. Then I remembered the MOD was the hard A who didn't put up with anything. MOD to me, OP, what happened? RD, you're incompetent employee. MOD to RD, I'll speak to you when I'm done. To me, what's going on? Me, this woman cut through the line and threw her stuff down when I called someone over. I panicked and thought it best just to do the transaction. She grabbed her lip glosses and I had to manually enter them. The yelling occurred when I went to explain policy. RD, you lying! MOD to RD, I'm not done yet. You can wait. To me, go on. Me, I've been trying to be helpful and I've been snapped at to hurry up more than once. When she screamed, HC radioed you to come here. She was helping someone with an exchange. MOD, thank you. You can work your section now. I go off, but not before I watch her void the transaction and tell her you insulted and berated an employee on her very first day. Even if she was my most veteran cashier, I'd be saying this: get out of my store and don't come back. I can hear RD screaming across the store incoherently, but let my MOD handle it. She let me take my 10 early and told me next time tell her politely to go back to her spot. If she refuses, radio one of us and we'll come help you, okay? I nodded, then she smiled. You'll be okay, I promise. That almost never happens here. The rest of the shift was spent being an associate and on the register, and I didn't have a single problem after that. Everyone else understood. Some of them were quite nice about it even. But I'll never forget this so long as I live in this form. Good manager. I've seen this story go the complete other way. And our second story. I'm your server and the manager. Checkmate, Karen. A few years ago, I started serving at a family-owned restaurant in my town. I quickly became close with the owner and the owner's daughter and helped them with more than just serving. I became head server and then bar manager. Since it was a smaller restaurant, I kept serving because I made way more money that way. We had a special every day for wine. We had a shelf filled with wine bottles. Each shelf was either 15, 25, or 50% off. It was a great deal, and typically we sold it for about $5 to $10 more than we were paying per bottle of wine. I don't know if this is well known, but a lot of restaurants upcharge their alcohol quite a bit in order to make a profit. Obviously, LOL. So it was a great deal for people. One day, a lady comes in with her friends and immediately starts causing problems. I end up taking over for the server who got them right after they ordered their drinks because they were so rude to her and it was her first full day of serving by herself. The lady ends up ordering one of the 25% off bottles, which ended up being around $7 more than you could buy it in a liquor store. How do I know this? At the end of the meal, I can hear her talking to her friends about how she's going to get the bottle of wine for free. She knew I was right there and could probably hear her, but I was just the server and probably dumb, also overheard at an earlier time. I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. At this point, I'm so ready to tell her, no, I actually wander by a few times so she can try her crap. Sure enough, she snaps at me, and I mean literally snaps her fingers, and calls over and says, I want you to get your bar manager. I looked online and found this bottle of Merlot for X dollars, and you charged me X dollars plus 7. I'm not paying this ridiculous overcharge, and I also want to talk to them about the service here today, too. Now, not to toot my own horn, I was a good server. There weren't many people in the restaurant at the time, so I knew I didn't neglect them. I substituted food for them and didn't charge them any upcharges, even though a double-baked stuffed potato cost more than a side of chips, but whatever. She looked at me with such a smug face until I came back at her and said, actually, I am the bar manager. I've never seen such a comical change in expression outside of a sitcom. She said, you're the bar manager? And I smiled and nodded and said, every restaurant will charge you more for products than they buy them for. This is how we make a profit. I'm not going to be discounting the wine. As far as issues with service, I'd be happy to listen to your complaints and take them into consideration for the future. She spluttered, grumbled, and told me, well, I'll never be coming back here again. Okay, good riddance, lady. And she didn't come back. Her friends did, though, and became some of my favorite regulars. They told me a few months later that the only reason they went out with her was because she was one of their sisters-in-law and didn't have any friends. I wonder why. It's crazy to hear what people think they can get away with. I don't understand how you can ever expect to get special treatment when you treat people like crap. What goes around comes around. This is a short but sweet petty revenge. I was in the supermarket today and had my trolley next to me whilst at the deli ordering ham. I couldn't move the trolley as I was being blocked in on one side by another customer and a Karen on the other. I'm ordering my ham when another deli lady asks Karen if she wants anything. She replies loudly in the snarkiest tone that she wishes she could see the ham if it weren't for, gesturing at me, this lady and her big trolley. She loudly then states that she'll have to come back later when people aren't blocking the ham. Whatever. I swing my trolley, she shimmies out of the way as it would have hit her otherwise, and she orders. I move on and continue my shop. When I go to the checkout, I find the line with what seemed to be the slowest checkout person. Don't know why it happens to me, but it just does. And I wait. I start to put my stuff onto the conveyor belt when Karen shows up. She has about 5 or 6 items in her trolley, and I would normally let her go first, but today, I don't think so. She can wait her turn like everyone else. And if she hadn't been snarky earlier, I would have been nicer, but hey, what goes around comes around, Karen. And our last story. Steal my money, take my house, put me into debt? Now it's time for me to ruin your life. My ex stole from me close to 90,000 euros, which I'd saved up for 9 years. And when I took her to court, I lost due to lack of evidence. At the moment, I felt destroyed and lost it all. She even sued me for emotional damages, and I had to pay 55,000 euros. So I was forced to sell my house and take a big loan from the bank. I stayed at a friend and helped me find some good lawyers. And we just found an amazing one. In one day, he helped me so much, he even helped me get the info of who took money from my bank account. Something was wrong. 29th of June, a transaction happened in my name. I never made it. I was not in the country at the time. Wow, would you look at that? I was ready to get back into court when I found out that she bought my house. Well, I have a safe that I never told her about hidden in the bathroom behind the cabinet. Well, she ruined my life. Why not ruin hers even more? So I had an accomplice that helped me buy some illegal substances, worth about 400 euros, and I used a friend to hide it there. The safe has a 4-digit code, that being 0000. Never got to change it to something else, and before taking her to court again, I had that same friend who hid the illegal substances turn her in. It took about a week for the cops to receive a mandate to search the house. They found nothing in the first 2 hours, and they wouldn't if my friend forgot to leave the safe cover open. That 400 euro worth of illegal substances are equal to a 5,000 euro fine and 12 years of prison. Well, I'm not done yet. Court time again. I had my lawyer get the footage from when the money from the bank was transferred, and I also had a document showing that I was not in the country at the time. We also found out the account to which the money was sent to. The name was that of my ex. Well, look how the tables have just turned. My lawyer also demanded payment for emotional damage, all the money that was stolen, the house, and also money equivalent to 2 times the debt I had in the bank, which is equal to about 140,000 euros. The look on her face when everything came crashing down on her was totally worth it. And on top of the 12 years, she received an additional 25 years for theft and false testimony. Enjoy it, B.